Hello everyone, and welcome to our video on the full moon in Sagittarius that takes place on June 3rd, 2023 at 11:42 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. I'm Emmeline Muldoon, and I'm here today with Jim Delacolli.
Hi, everyone.
We get together twice a month, if you're new to these videos, to talk about the lunations of the month. So the full moon and the new moon each month. It's a good time to look at what's going on and see a snapshot of the sky and the energy, and also to give you some information on how to work with the moon and see what's coming up, what's to be released.
Yeah, in the summer of chaos, right? Or summer of truth, whatever it is here. It's unfolding now.
Do you know what I'm calling it? The summer of unlove. Because there's that the summer of love. Well,
Yeah.
when I'm talking to clients, I'm saying it's the summer of unlove, and they're like, "What do you mean?" I say, "Well, when Venus is going retrograde, which it's set to do,
Yes.
Venus is the planet that controls money and love and beauty. When it's going backwards, like it's the unlove. I don't even know if that's not a word, is it? But
I know what you're saying, and I agree.
that's how I've been describing it. The summer of unlove. Kind of funny, but it's there's a lot going on.
And it stays retro in Leo the whole time, does it not?
Yes, it does. Yeah, retrograde in Leo till the first week of September. So it starts, just for context, everyone, it starts the last week of July, the whole of August, and then the first week of September. So that's why I'm calling it the summer of unlove. Just for everyone.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it makes me chuckle. Anyway, yeah, so we're here to talk about the full moon in Sagittarius. It's happening this weekend. Now, Jim and I were just talking about this before we started recording, how uncanny the news stories are. Although I know, Jim, you don't follow the news as much as maybe I do, but the timing of certain stories that have come out this week is just incredible. We've got this full moon in Sagittarius. We've been talking about the nodes are getting to the end. The South Node is in Scorpio, secrets, the truth being revealed. And we have a major news story in the UK this week with probably one of the top 5 most famous reporters in the daytime TV presenters. So he's a person that's in everyone's homes during the day, announcing he's had an affair with a man 34 years younger than him. And it looks like there's been all sorts of cover-ups, and it's now just coming out. So you can see that sort of stories that are being unearthed and information that's being uncovered or revealed from famous people that are at the top of their profession in some way, like he was. So that's an interesting one. And then also today we had NASA go live, which I just think is just absolutely incredible, and talk about the UFO footage that they have. That's blown me away, hasn't it, Jim? I'm speechless.
Well, it definitely it gets you a little on that excited side, and I love it. So
I was just speechless. I'm like, they're telling us that they've got these UFO videos, and they're releasing a report in the summer, a full report on this. So we've got more to come. But we've all seen crop circles and like those videos that people have at home. This is a UFO, look at this footage, and everyone's just like dismissing it. It's crazy. Now NASA are like sitting there going, and this is what we have back from footage from the 1990s. So it is basically like when we're trying to talk to you about the astrology and what's being revealed and information coming out, this story kind of summarizes the energy in a big way.
mm-hmm.
So sorry, go on.
No, what we've been talking about is up is down, down is up, and they want you looking right, because left they're trying to maybe finagle things, and this is all in play here. And we told you this was the summer of kind of reckoning, and we're here, end of May, June, and July we'll be able to do something about it. Now we're we're figuring it out. You know, they're showing they're at the final stage of what they're trying to do or trying to manipulate, and we're here. So everything you're talking about is so in line with what we've been doing and talking about, that your own world should be having these same environments. So I got to shut a door. Hold on. Go ahead.
Yeah. It's that's fine. I just absolutely couldn't quite believe my eyes when I saw the news going live and NASA talking about it. Like, it was just, yeah, it's fine. There's footage that we have of UFOs, and you know, we're going to do a report on it, and that's that. It just kind of makes you wonder why the information's coming out in some way, but it all ties into astrology. It's all very thought-provoking. It's all information, stuff that's been hidden, because obviously, like I said, this footage was old that they had, and it's just coming to the surface now. So it's just kind of the flavor of the astrology. What's coming to the surface in your life? What are you uncovering? What secrets have you heard? What things have come to light? We should all be experiencing that type of energy in some way at the moment. And with this full moon on Saturday, it's very much a feeling of okay, what truth? You know, when we think about Sagittarius, the full moon is in Sagittarius, we think about the truth. You know, a lot of time we connect Sagittarius to the law, people who are lawyers in some way. So it's really uncovering information with that South Node in Scorpio, and then releasing what is the truth with the Sagittarius fill. I don't know how much of that you heard. I was just continuing on.
You're spot on. I mean, that's stuff I want to talk about. So you nailed it. So
oh, right. Okay. Right. So I'll share the chart with you all for those on YouTube that can see this. So you can actually have a visual of what this full moon chart looks like. This crazy chaos that's here. I feel, you know, when I look at this, I feel like my head's spinning, just because there's so much information that's like being unfolded. And you know what it is? It's that Mercury conjunct Uranus.
Yep.
Overload.
Yes.
A complete, like, Mercury is information, it's communication, and Uranus is like things that we uncover, things that we find out. And in actual fact, I think that those two are actually together, exactly together right now or tomorrow. So that aspect very much speaks to this NASA stuff. Like, am I quite hearing this right? Is this shocking news?
Yes.
And that's kind of the feel with this full moon chart as well.
Yeah. And so you should really mentally, like, there should be a lot going on, and wherever Taurus falls in your chart, for me, it's at the very bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, it's like a lot of the past and a lot of, you know, what I kind of, what's kind of ingrained in me, or, you know, what I know is really coming to the surface. So, and they're basically by themselves. I mean, they really don't make an aspect to much. They make a quincunx, Uranus makes a quincunx to Saturn.
Mm-hmm.
But other than, and then of course Mercury to Saturn, but nothing else. So it's kind of out there by itself. A lot of mental activity going on, a lot of opportunities for truth, right? But also that might be as you're talking, like with the moon, or with the scenario with the guy over in your home country, that it might give it to you in a way that you're getting pieces of a puzzle so you can finish the puzzle itself. So just look at it that way. Maybe it's what you didn't know that you needed, or maybe it pieced it together to where you it was not the truth, but it helped you understand the truth. So don't miss either side of this.
Yeah, and I feel like there's more to come out in those stories. I don't think
there's a lot more coming.
The bottom of what's been announced and what's been said so far. So the TV network actually just announced this morning that they're going to launch an investigation. So there we go.
Yeah. And then with the Sagittarius moon, right? That's Jupiter ruled, the final fire sign. And this is where you take and you bring alchemy to, you bring heat or your flame to whatever it is to change its form to come to a better understanding. So, and because it's Jupiter ruled 3 or more, so there's going to be a lot of stuff coming here. Do not kid yourself. A lot of stuff's happening. Know where Sagittarius is and know where this full moon is endings and action to be taken.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's all very interesting. And that Uranus is certainly making a big aspect there in this chart with the Mercury. The other thing that I think is interesting in this chart is Venus opposite Pluto. Because that is you know, Venus is love and money, finances, and this is Pluto over here that's making some type of war aspect or trouble with that. So it may be that because it's an opposition as well, it's like an influence from someone else that's triggering that feeling of war or unsettlement or arguing or some type of information that maybe information comes to the surface that then results in an upset with romance or an upset with finances. But there's definitely like an unsettling feeling there.
The money printers are in trouble, is how I'll put that. Yeah. They're in trouble.
Yeah. We've had a lot in the last couple of charts with Venus and Pluto and the sort of friction that they have between them, which is, you know, unstable money vibes. So that's not a new one for this month, but it is there. Well, for this new full moon, but it is there again.
Right. Saturn's also squaring this moon.
Yeah.
And I'm bobbing around. Sorry. So, so you know what I just talked about the moon, Saturn square. Saturn really does rule past rules, structures, and systems, and so you watch how the systems and structures that are in play. You watch how this moon really starts revealing more of the systems and structure. I'm not going to tell you which way to lean. Just check this out as it unfolds. So,
yeah. And Saturn is like us working on this. So the information that we get out, that comes out, that we learn, or whatever's coming up for us in our life, we are working on it. We're putting in that work. That's what.
Do your research. Yes, good point. Very good.
Yeah, we have work to do with that in some way.
And I mean, we both do charts. Great time for chart readings. I'm telling you right now, this summer's a great time because you've been assessed a bunch of chaotic energy, and to navigate through it, a good time to get a chart reading just to make sure you're on course, and you know, and make sure you get that needed support. So you don't have to call me. You can call Emmeline. If you don't call either one of us, call somebody you trust. But great time for that. So.
Yeah, it is. Definitely. There's a lot to unpack. So sometimes, you know, if this is affecting you, if you've got a lot of Scorpio or Taurus in your chart, you might be feeling this more than others. And we were talking about this at the beginning as well. Prince Harry has a lot of Scorpio Taurus in his chart. His Scorpio house is his 10th house. So there's a lot of news stories going on with him at the moment, you know, which is not very surprising given the astrology.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The other thing that's here is that Saturn is in a quincunx to Mars. So I've been describing this all week to people as a we're trying to build action to work towards what we want to do. But the problem is we've got a square peg and it's a round hole. So what are you going to do? We need to change the peg. That's kind of like my thinking about this. You can't keep banging your head against the wall and saying, I want to do it this way, I want to do it that way, and expect to get the result that I want. There needs to be an adjustment. There needs to be a redirect. So with that happening, with this aspect, it is a chance to pull in towards your intuition here with Saturn to sort of know what you need to change in order to move on. Because if you carry on doing things the same way with that quincunx, you're not going to be able to get the progress that you want.
Correct. Good way to put that.
Yeah, I was just doing some thinking about that aspect this week. It's an interesting one. Michael described it as, Michael, my husband, he does coaching. He described it as, oh, so it's kind of like change, change, change something, or nothing changes. That was what he said. Change something or nothing changes. I was like, oh yeah, there we go. That's a way of describing it.
Yeah, good point. I want to throw back to financial real quick with Jupiter coming into Taurus.
Yes.
Providing new opportunities, I think, or ability to take what's been assessed to grow something up, take something and grow from that. Do not miss this opportunity.
Yeah, Jupiter's moved into Taurus now, so it's a whole new beginning. In the Taurus sector, we've got a lot of influence. We've got a lot of expansion there. And with it being conjunct the North Node, now that's a very positive aspect. That's a nice part of this chart, I think. They come together every like 7 years. And I was just doing some research on this the other day. The last time Jupiter and the North Node came together in Taurus was 1929. Now that's a bit of a funny coincidence. But anywho, yeah, it's a long time since they've come together. So wherever that part of your chart is, wherever Jupiter and the North Node are in that Taurus, this is a fated over the last week. There would have been information coming to light. There would have been a story there, maybe something you've heard, maybe someone you've met that's sort of pulling you into where you're going to build and what you're going to move towards in a positive way, because it's our destiny, it's our collective, our future there. So
yes,
that's a nice part of this full moon, definitely.
Yes. And then Jupiter is also going to square Mars and Venus, so you want to be careful there to just make sure from that masculine feminine side, make sure that you're seeing things or throw patience. I know a lot of people I know, when I throw the word patience out there, they all cringe and run and hide. But you might be able to find something more out about something by working through something that appears to be difficult, I guess is how I'll put it. So.
Yep.
And did Pluto square Jupiter? I missed that too. Did we talk about that yet or not?
We haven't. It's in a T-square as well, isn't it? Because it's got Mars in it as well. It's still opposite Mars ever so, it's 8 degrees away. So it's pulling into that Jupiter in a T-square. But yeah, it is. So we've got Mars square Jupiter and Pluto square Jupiter, which is just blowing it all up. Whatever it is, it's just magnifying it, isn't it?
Yeah, big fat lies are everywhere. Good. This is fun. I'm glad I saw that one, because I'm like, man, I told you there's lies, but that's a big help there, because North Node too. So yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So.
Yeah, and you can't see it on my chart because I don't have the South Node up here, but it also still is activating that Grand Cross as well, the fixed Grand Cross. So there's a lot of tension with this full moon, I think. This is when you've got a Grand Cross in a chart, it's hard to work through. You've got to sort of when you've got one square, it's like a challenge. But this is 4 squares that come together to make one giant square. So it's an ultimate challenge that needs to be broken through this full moon.
And that's why I said earlier, if we can throw some patience in there, you can come to a way better scenario here by dealing with just whatever is presented, whether it's difficult or easy, or or fun, or something unpleasant. Just trust me, have patience here.
Yeah,
you're gonna get a lot of info. You'll be able to decipher it if you throw patience. Don't feel like you have to answer it in a moment. And I know everybody wants to answer now because everything's so chaotic, but one of the worst things you can do are make hasty decisions in chaotic times.
Yeah, patience is a really good one to let people to give to people, I think, because the patience is really going to you get to where we're building towards the positive, like Jupiter's moving towards the positive. So when all these tensions are coming up and when we're cracking down stuff, having the patience to realize and take a step back and go, this is for the better, this is for the greater good for me. So this is if things are crumbling around you, they're crumbling away for a reason to make things better.
Yes. And then
always easy to see at the time, but
not, it's hard to see. Yes, absolutely. And then I got Venus trine Neptune.
Yes.
You can talk about that because you're good about talking about love and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things to talk about. I have a Venus in Libra in the 3rd house. So there we go. You wanted someone to talk about love. And my Mercury is in Venus in the 3rd house as well. So and my sun. So they're all there chatting away about love. So yeah, love any stories about romance or people, relationships, how people work together, how they come together. So astrology works really well with that as well, understanding relationships, which we can do in readings as well.
Yeah.
And I used to be a divorce lawyer many moons ago, which isn't as nice, but you can really get to learn a lot about relationships when you dealing with how they fall apart as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress. So there's 2 aspects here that are very romantic, actually, because we have Venus is trining Neptune as well.
Yes.
So that is really, Neptune is like the ultimate love, the ideal love, the perfect love, the higher love, and it's making a lovely flowing trine there with Venus in Cancer. So those 2 are really trying to cooperate. So I think what they're saying is, what do you love? What is it that you love? Because love wins.
Yes.
Love, if you look at this chart, what's it saying is, don't think about what you don't like. Think about what you do want to do, what you do enjoy doing, because that's going to be important in some way. Now, the Jupiter square in Venus might be a bit of a challenge. Maybe you feel like you can't do it. Maybe you feel like you can't get the love, or you can't do what you want to do. There's an obstacle in the way. Well, like I said earlier, make the changes, square peg round a hole, do things a bit differently to get the result that you want.
And sometimes we don't know what's best for us. And I think this is a moment or a time that's going to whack us in the head here, right? Or in the heart.
Yeah.
That maybe what was best for us, we didn't even see or didn't acknowledge. But through all our trials and tribulations, we're getting to a whole different perspective.
Yeah. Yeah, there is definitely that influence here in this chart as well. Okay, is there anything else that we any other aspects that we've missed here? I think we've done most of the big ones. Oh, moon is trine. The moon is trine Mars as well. So feelings, this is action. What's really good, what I'm going to say positive about this one is, when you're stirred up here emotionally, it's going to make you want to act. So Mars is in Leo, it's going to make you want to, information from this moon might stir you up to make you want to step forward or make a change or react upon what you hear emotionally.
Yes. And Chiron, it's not a great grand trine, but Chiron, you can throw that in the mix, all water signs. All fire signs, sorry. And so I look at that as, and it's happened to me already. I've already found some of the stuff I've been working on to stay healthy. I found some amazing articles, some amazing individuals that have given me insight on mineral deficiencies and things like that to try to gain back some of my health that I've been, losing to the battle of, everybody wants to throw medication, but what if it was just a lack of minerals? So I've gotten some insight, crazy insight in the last few days. So find a way to heal yourself as well, because I'm just trying potentials here. So,
yeah,
that's make yourself better. Take alchemy to yourself. Fix yourself. Let's go.
Yeah. It's certainly an interesting full moon this weekend. So going to sort of look forward to what else comes out and what's next in the story. obviously, like we said, we had the NASA stuff today, which isn't a total revelation, because obviously last year there was the Pentagon sort of made their own statements about UFO and said, you know, there's stuff there, but now NASA's kind of investigating it. So it's like, keep a sort of an eye on what's going on there and what's coming, what information is coming to the surface.
Yeah, and ask questions all around that, not just the UFO, but why now?
Yeah.
We've had this since the 90s, 80s, the whatever. Why now? And so ask yourself those questions too. Dig, find this out, because there's a lot of info all over the place to give you a better idea of what's really going on. So
yeah, there's definitely a feeling here with so the information that's there. It's only sort of scratching the surface, and we've got more, you know, Scorpio is about going deeper, so there's more to find out for us all about what we're seeing and what we're learning in our lives. There's more that we can look at where Scorpio is in your chart, because that's going to really give you some answers as to how this story is falling in your chart. You know, what are you unearthing? What have you been looking at the last 18 months? Because the Scorpio, the nodes are going to be changing signs soon in July. So we're getting to the end of that Scorpio releasing time.
Yes. And then don't forget Sagittarius is expanding. So have fun too. Don't forget, wherever you have that, you can take a little action or end some things to maybe bring more of your life to you and line of what you want and need based on what you're getting here. So don't forget that opportunity that does occur during this full moon.
Yeah, I think that's actually, I used an expression earlier in the week for that full moon. Sagittarius, release. What do you need to release in order for you to have more freedom, more excitement? Good. So that is a good little way of summarizing a full moon in Sagittarius.
Yep, good. That hit everything I got.
So. Yeah. So I'll stop sharing the screen here with you all. I hope that helped. If you have any questions, of course, let us know. It's definitely an interesting full moon. Full moons are always time to sort of, I think, pause and reflect a bit as well. You know, the new moon, we're thinking about what are we beginning, what are we starting, what are we planting, and the Sagittarius is about, well, we've gained the knowledge, you know, going back to the new moon a year and a half ago. So we're releasing now information that we've learned and things that we are things that we've learned and things that we've been working on in that time.
Yep.
So enjoy, have some fun with this, as Jim says.
Yeah, don't forget to throw that in there. So
yeah, Sagittarius is a very fun sign. It's one of my favorite signs. You know, Sagittarius is the one who's always up for going on a trip or having the party or learning or being, you know, sociable, not being restrained in any way. So if you think about that context in the background of this full moon, it's a nice time.
And one more round. That's what I always think, Sagittarius. One more round.
Well, yeah, one more. Let's have another one for the road.
That's right. So
yeah, exactly. So yeah.
All right. Well, thank you as always. I mean, I'm grateful for the comments, the viewers, and I'm grateful for you, Emmeline. So
yes, thanks, Jim. Thanks for getting together. It's always there's something to look forward to, talking about the astrology with you, what's going on. So we'll be back for the next one, the next new moon coming up in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah. So y'all take care. That'll be the Gemini new moon. So
yes.
Good luck.
Yep. Until next time, everyone. Bye.